Good afternoon. This is a presentation of project procurement management coursework for Group 12. And in Group 12, we have 5 members, and that is Obwala Leo, Nakajigo Oliver, Asera Nelly, Akelo Evelyn, and Mesiku Priscilla. The person presenting is Evelyn Akelo. In this coursework, we were required to identify an organization and identify a department, and then develop a procurement plan for it. And as a group, we identified Nelly Charity Organization. This is a Christian organization which is focused on advocacy and fighting poverty. And it was started in 1990 and currently implementing projects that fall under livelihood, resilience, health, water, and sanitation. Our headquarters are found in Kampala, in Uganda. We identified the field operations department, and the project that we identified is a 5-year project that started in 2021 and ending in 2025. And it's called Livelihood and Resilience Project, implemented in Odek Sub-County, Omoro District. The goal of this project is to contribute to improved resilience and livelihood of 2,000 vulnerable households for sustainable well-being of children in Odek Sub-County in Omoro District by 2025. It has 3 objectives, and one is to ensure that the 2,000 households have sufficient and sustainable income to cater for their basic needs by 2025. And also to ensure that the 2,000 households have sustainable access to nutritious food by 2025. And then the last one is to ensure that the 2,000 households are resilient to shock and stress by 2025. We went ahead to identify activities that would help us achieve this. And one is identifying and registering of the 2,000 most vulnerable households. And here we are trying to profile our beneficiaries for this project. And the resources that we will need are enumerators. We need tablets to be able to store that information. We need a vehicle to support the staff to move. And then we need refreshments and meals, as well as a venue and stationery for this activity. Activity number 2 will be to train or training staff on entrepreneurship skills. And in this one, we will require an expert, a consultant services, and then we will need refreshments. We will need a venue for this activity and stationery, as well as training manuals to ensure that the staff get it right so that they can cascade it down to the beneficiaries. Thank you very much. I'll then hand you over to Priscilla, who will take us through the rest of the activity.
Sorry, thank you, Evelyn. Continuing with activities. Activity number 3 that we have is training on poultry keeping. And under this training, we have the following resources. We have project staff that will need to train the beneficiaries. We'll need venue where this training will be taking place from. We need startup kits. We need refreshments during the training. We'll need transport refund for the participants, stationery to facilitate the training. Then we'll also need training manuals Activity 4 is the training on VSLA, where we'll need project staff. We'll still need venue for the training. We'll need startup kits, which will include the metallic saving kits. We'll need training books. We'll need calculators, booklets, and booklets for recording shares. We'll also still need refreshments for the participants and the people who are training them, transport refund, and stationery. On the training, which is for number 5, we'll have training on kitchen or backyard gardening, where we'll need project staff, we'll need venue, startup kits, which will comprise of seeds, fertilizers, watering can, hose. Then we'll also require refreshments for the participants, transport refund for participants and project staff. We'll need stationery where they'll be recording what they'll be trained on for future references. Then we'll also provide training materials, training manuals for the project staff that will be training them. Thank you very much. Over to you, Leo.
Thank you, Nelly. We still need, in other activities, we still need, okay, our activity number 6 is establishing demo garden for selected nutritious food. We shall need land, labor, seeds to establish a demo garden, garden tools, irrigation system, fertilizers, and then sacks. Our 7th activity is to train communities on disaster risk reduction. And under this activity, we shall need the following resources: project staff to carry the training, venue where the training will be conducted from, refreshments for participants and trainers, transport refund, stationery, training manuals. Our 8th activity is going to be to facilitate the establishment of disaster preparedness plan. And we shall need resources like project staff, venue, refreshments for the participants and trainers, transport refund, stationery, training manuals, and then printing disaster planning templates. Another activity will be training households on identification of disaster early warning signs. More resources that we need are project staff, venue for conducting the training, refreshments, transport refund, stationery, training manuals. And our 10th activity will be to, identifying households affected with shocks and stress. Here we shall need this Faraday allowance for community structures, and we are targeting parish chief to support us in this. We shall also need tablets to collect data, and enumerators to do the data collections. Thank you so much. I welcome Nelly to take over from there.
Thank you very much, Leo. The continuation on activities and resources required continues. And this is activity 11, which is conducting interpersonal group therapy. Amongst the 200 households, we believe there are households where we have distressed persons. So we shall provide them with interpersonal group therapy. And the resources needed here are the therapists, stroke counselors who will provide the services for mental health and psychosocial support. Then we shall need a counseling room, which is convenient. to conduct the interpersonal group therapy for the identified clients. Then we shall need refreshments for the participants, and therein is the budget for the activity. However, we shall go direct to the procurement plan of the project. And there we have a column of description of item to be procured. Next is category of procurement. Next column is quantity in units or TOR or SOW. Then the next column is confirmed source of funding. Then the last one is time frame of conducting the activity. So the first description of the activity is acquiring the tablets, which is Samsung Galaxy Note 1, having RAM 6 GB, then ROM 128. The battery should be 6,000 mAh. Then the screen size should be 10. The type of the tablet is 110. Then the color is black. Under the category, these are goods. And the quantity we need is 20 tablets. And the estimated cost for the 20 tablets is 20 million. And this is a donor-funded activity from USAID. The time frame, we expect it to be done on 22nd March 2022. Next. The second activity is we need a vehicle, and this vehicle is a Land Cruiser 4x4, 5-seater, tank capacity 35,000, sorry, to 4,000 cc, manual transmission, body style hard top, mileage 0, power 150 BH, model year 2021, color white. This is a good under categories, and we need one Land Cruiser, which is budgeted for 100 million, still a donor fund from USAID, and we expect it on 15th May 2022. Then the other activity is acquiring stationery, which is A5 hardcover notebooks, blue and black ball pens, that's big, 50-page flip chart, permanent markers, masking tape, F4 size clear white printing paper, and still these are goods. Under that, the specification is 500 notebooks, 500 pens, 100 flip charts, 50 packets, 30 rolls, 10 cartons, and according to the estimated amounts is as displayed there. It's still a donor fund, and we expect this to take place on 22nd March 2022. So with that, I call upon Olive to take us through the rest of the activities in the procurement plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nelly. Olive Nakajugo is my name. And we shall, in continuation, we shall have consultancy services procured as well. And the specification is a professional experienced firm to provide us with professionals to conduct entrepreneurship skills training for 5 days. Like indicated, it's a service, and 2 of these professionals will be expected, planned at that amount of money, being a donor-funded activity, and expected to happen between 4th and 8th of April 2022. In addition, we shall procure a poultry startup kit after the poultry training, and this will include 3 hens, 1 cock, and veterinary services. These are goods and services, and it will include 6,000 hens, 2,000 cocks, and 4 rounds of vaccination. 4 rounds of vaccination in a year, and it's estimated at that amount of money, being a donor funded and expected to be delivered on the 30th of April 2022. We shall also procure a startup kit for VSLA. This will include a squared shaped metallic saving box with lock of dimensions, with a lock of dimensions 30 by 30 by 30, that is length, width, and height. It will include blue 4-quire A4 hardcover rolled record books, A720 paged pass books branded with the project logo, Casio business calculators, black in color with arithmetic buttons. These are all goods to be procured, and it will include 100 metallic boxes, 100 record books, 2,000 passbooks, and 100 calculators. And planned estimated amounts of money are as indicated. It's also a donor-funded activity, and it's expected to be delivered on the 30th of May 2022. We shall also have to procure a startup kit for backyard gardening, and this will include watering cans with the wide opening and perforated watering end, traditional round eye hose with 120 centimeters handle, a treated widespread spades with 100 centimeter handle, then various vegetables, seeds therein, such as spinach, dodo, eggplants, and okra. Gardening trowel, this will be for transplanting, and then heavy duty wheelbarrow with dimensions of 600 millimeters by 1,255 millimeters. That is height, weight, and length, respectively. These are all goods, and those are the amounts that are expected to be procured at the various costs as indicated in the table, in the procurement plan. These are still donor funded and expected to be delivered on the 3rd of June, while all the trainings on gardening are done. Then meals will be procured and refreshments for training enumerators, and this will include break tea, lunch plus a drink, water, and evening tea for 5 days. This is a service. 25 people are expected, and the estimated amount of money is 1,875,000. It's a donor-funded activity as well, and it's expected to be delivered between on the 14th of April. And finally, refreshments for beneficiary trainings, and will include water at 500 mils and plastic sodas of 300 mils. These are all goods. Expected planned people are 2,000 at a cost of 48 million, and it's a donor funded, expected to be delivered as well on the 14th of April 2022. This was prepared by Leo Obwala, the unit user, approved by Oliver Nakajugo, the project head of department, and received by Akelo Evelyn, who is the procurement officer in charge of procurement. Thank you very much. That is the end of our presentation as Group 8, as Group 12. Thank you very much for listening.